There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Oh, what's up and welcome into episode number 75 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince, joined with you as always by Ryan Tyson, Mark Hall, Matt Gann, no Patrick Hertzberger this week. Today is Thursday, June 15th. Be sure to like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Trying to hit 1,600 subscribers by the end of the month. That would be massive for us. It costs you $0 to subscribe to the program, people. It costs you absolutely nothing. Helps us out more than you know. You can follow us on Twitter, Program Guys with a Z, our Instagram, Program Guys with a Z, our Facebook page, Program Guys Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. That you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of that good stuff. Gentlemen, we know who and where OU will be playing football in 2024. So for
SEC.
In case you're living under a rock, we're recording this right after the OU opponents were dropped. The full-on schedule not available yet, but we know who OU is playing and where they're playing them. So, and that's in 2024. So for those who don't know, your home SEC schedule: Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas is a home game at the Cotton Bowl. So you have three true conference home games in 2024. Your road games at Auburn, at LSU, at Ole Miss, and at Missouri. So that's your schedule. You throw in Temple and Tulane in there as well as some non-conference opponents. But first things...
I just want to say we have one Power 5 that we still need to schedule that we have not scheduled yet because of like the rule that SEC has.
I'm here to tell you, I talked a lot of mess about SEC schools schedule and cupcake opponents. After seeing who we're playing,
I'm ready. I'm ready for that cupcake.
Give me Weber
baby.
State. Give me Weber State. Give me Connor State. I don't care. I need a break, man. It's going to be a gauntlet. But your first overall thoughts, I want to start with Ryan because we talked off air a little bit about it. Ryan's got some spicy takes, maybe not even spicy, but some takes nonetheless. Go ahead, Ryan.
At minimum, we lose 3 of these games. Like, I'm coming in real hot with like, this is not going to be a great year for us. And that is okay. And I think that's all right. And I think we're going to transition the SEC. I see Mark shaking his head, so he disagrees with me, but that's all right.
No, I think we could. Yeah.
I think
hot to me.
I think Alabama is a loss. I think at LSU is absolutely a loss. I think Ole Miss or Auburn up in the air, one of them. And then like you got Tennessee, you got South Carolina, you got Texas. It's crazy. It's like every single week there's something. And this is what we wanted, right? This is what we were excited about. And I think now that we're seeing it, we're like, oh shit, this is real. But like, this is exciting. It's great. Even if we don't do great this first year, I think it's really, really exciting for the years to come. So,
Matt?
It's a little cold in here with that freezing cold take. Thank you, Tyson. I mean, this is what we wanted, right? When we got announced that OU and Texas were going to leave the SEC, we all knew how exciting these were to have these SEC opponents come here, but also get to travel to places like Baton Rouge, to places like not Starksville. Where is Ole Miss at? Wherever it's at. But all these different places. Oxford. All these different places. And now we're truly seeing the gauntlet of a schedule. Like Mason just said, it's going to be week in and week out. We're going to play way better quality opponents in the SEC than in the Big 12. So the first year, definitely OU fans have to set lower expectations because, I mean, again, we're going to have a couple recruiting classes in, but it's going to be the first year. It's going to be a very, very tough first year going in, especially hosting Alabama and Tennessee, who continue to recruit at a high level. And those fans are going to travel as well. So it's an exciting thing to see finally a just schedule in hand. And we're all looking forward to a lot of great matchups for years to come.
Mark?
We don't know anything about what any of these teams are going to look like in 2 years. this is the dumbest practice in the entire world to me. Yeah, it's very cool at the like high level. Oh, Bama's coming to town. Tennessee's coming to town. That's cool. Wonder if we're going to make one of the trips as a squad, try and get down to one of those games in the Southeast. That would be fun. It's a difficult schedule for sure. I think that 4 losses is reasonable. That's kind of the game, right? We don't really know, though. We don't know what we're going to look like in 2 years. We don't know what anyone except for Bama on that schedule is going to look like in 2 years. I'm not getting worked up about this.
No, and I agree to that point. Like I was talking to Ryan about it when Ryan initially brought it up to me about the losses, and I can definitely see those 3 losses. But again, the Alabama quarterback situation right now is a big question mark. You don't know what it is going to be this year. You don't know what's going to be next year for that matter. So who knows what Alabama, everything around them is going to look good, but you don't know. Tennessee was hot last year. Who knows? They could fall off the wagon in the next 2 years. Who knows if Josh Heupel's really the guy? We don't know for sure. So there's a lot of question marks, and you're right. It is kind of a dumb practice. We're not going to, predict wins and losses in games right now in 2 years. But to Ryan's point, I think it is. He's completely right. Lower expectations. You're going into LSU. There's a reason it's near impossible to win in that stadium. It's freaking hard, no matter how bad or good LSU is year in and year out. They're very good. It's a hard place to win. Alabama knows it firsthand. I'm glad we have Alabama at home. I don't want to make the trip to Bryant-Denny. That's an underrated, really hard place to play. I've been in that stadium when they played.
They show up.
Yeah. I mean, when they played Mercer, and the first half was wild. I mean, it was a raucous crowd for an FCS opponent. It was crazy. Ole Miss, I think, is going to be tough in Oxford. They're rowdy. They get rowdy there, and that'll be difficult. Missouri.
Ole Miss is rowdy as hell. Oxford is. We really did hit quite a jackpot with the away game schedule. It's just like, are we going to go to these games? Right? Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss is fire, and then Mizzou is Mizzou. They're fine. That's know.
Mizzou's like an old rivalry with us, so I kind of I understand why they put us with them the first year. Like that makes sense to me. It's like a Texas A&M type thing, or Arkansas.
They talked about their criteria was like trying to make schedules as equal as possible, and I would love to be in that room and talk about strength of schedule. Who do they think's dog shit? Or who do they think is worse than someone else 2 years down the road from now? How do you determine equal strength of schedule 2 years from now?
Well, they split Georgia and Alabama between Texas and OU. Like that makes sense. And then they put Texas A&M with Texas, and then they gave us LSU, and they probably just took like the big hitters and started like separating them out, because everybody, I mean, to both of y'all's points about how rowdy these crowds are going to be, they're going to be even rowdier for the first game against us. Like we are new, we are like coming in, they're going to be very, very excited, both against us and against Texas. And it's going to be a real test. So I'm excited about it.
Matt, I want to get to you, but I want to mention Texas's schedule or Texas's opponents. They have home games against Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Their road games are Arkansas, OU in the Cotton Bowl, Texas A&M, I love it, and Vanderbilt. So that's Texas's schedule. Or I keep saying schedule. It's not a schedule. Those are their opponents. That's what it is. So Matt, go ahead and get to your point. What you were saying. I just wanted to mention that while it was on my mind.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. When does the college football expansion happen? When we move, or is it a year after we move to the SEC?
24.
When we move, it's
okay.
24.
So just think that the first year of the SEC transition is going to be the expanded college football playoff. So we're really going to see when the board decides who makes the college football playoff, what kind of precedent they're going to set now that OU and Texas are moving to the SEC. Can a playoff team get in with 2-3 potential losses just in the SEC if everyone just beats each other up? So it'd be really, that's why I'm more focused on, especially the first years, how is football playoff committee going to hone in on the SEC being the best conference really over the last 4 or 5 years, and now adding the addition of OU Texas, what kind of precedent are they going to set for who is able to get in or sneak in?
Alabama has Auburn, Missouri, South Carolina, and Georgia at home in 2024. On the road they're at LSU, at OU, at Tennessee, and at Vanderbilt.
That top 3 is tough away for them.
That's
I think OU's gonna put up a fight. We're talking 2 years down the road, but we're also gonna be very excited. So everyone's gonna be excited
for sure. Anyone else? I'm trying to find all of these announcements just because I want to see. Georgia has home games against Auburn, Mississippi State, Tennessee, neutral site game against Florida, away against Alabama, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Texas. So, those are just some of the bigger names. It's going to be a gauntlet, man. It's really, there's no shot that you make it out of the conference unscathed. It's going to be a war of attrition. It's going to be like who can be the 2-loss SEC champion and who can win the war of attrition and lose 3 games but look good in those 3 losses. It's going to be like stuff like that. It's just
mean, there's no divisions anymore either. No. This is not like an East-West thing. This is just like everybody fight to the death. And we're going to take the 2 best teams at the end.
It's for real gladiator style. It's the Big 12 model. Yeah, exactly.
It's the Big 12 model, but it's not this SEC is still sort of top heavy if you think of Alabama and Georgia and things like that. But everybody in the middle toward even the bottom can play spoiler at any moment.
There's no Iowa State.
No.
There's no Kansas.
No. Well, Vanderbilt. That might be the only one.
Maybe.
So maybe. Depends.
Matt,
the thing I'm looking forward to the most, and then I'll conclude, I'll be finished, is when Tennessee comes to Norman. What's Patrick doing?
He's wearing his checkered overalls.
Oh man.
And singing Rocky Top.
He
Volunteer Pat's gonna come out so hard. Becca's just gonna look at him and he's gonna
he's gonna be married by then.
He's going to be
I gotta do it.
He's going to be that guy who is there and he'll wear OU stuff, but he'll be like, I'll be happy with whoever wins. It's all good to me. Mm-mm. And that's going to make me more mad than just if he outright rooted for Tennessee. That's going to make me more mad that you go in it's a win-win situation for me. Shut up. No.
And I already know he's going to comment on the page, on the video and be like, of course I would root for you guys. Yeah. No, you wouldn't. You said Joe Milton's good. No, you wouldn't.
Exactly. Matt.
I got nothing else. I'm looking forward to it. This is what we wanted.
All right. Let us know down below in the comments what game you're most looking forward to. Are you planning on making a road trip? You got a lot of time to plan a road trip down to SEC country. Maybe go to
Ole Miss,
one,
LSU. Guys. We got to
go. We got to figure out
which one. I don't really want to go to Baton Rouge because I think I might get killed. But
one per year. One per year. We got to go somewhere.
Maybe we can go to Oxford or something. That would be fun.
Oxford's dope. In case you're wondering, Auburn's a really fun time too. Auburn's a lot of fun, in my experience. So
light flex.
I mean,
light.
I don't know about that. But let us know down below in the comments of what you think of the opponent releases and all of that good stuff. So if you didn't check out the emergency press conference or the emergency podcast we had, the EPC that the guys did the other day, it was Mark, Matt, and Patrick talking about the Jordy Ball, Derek LeBlanc news that dropped over the week. And me and Ryan weren't on that, so we're gonna go ahead and drop some takes because perhaps we have a couple. Ryan, we'll start with the Jordy Ball news. Thoughts on Jordy for you?
Yeah, I am super, super appreciative of everything Jordy has done for this university. I think she's a rock star. I think she's incredible. And she has 2 championships with us, led us to 2 championships, and especially this past one. I have nothing but respect for her and respect for her decision. I mean, it sounds like it was mostly a call to home, and that call can be very, very strong. And she's done in 2 years here what a lot of people don't get to do in their career. So I hope she goes home. She's probably transferring to Nebraska. I hope that the Huskers treat her well, which I'm sure they will, and she's probably going to get paid for it, which super exciting for her. But I'm just thankful.
I got nothing bad to say about Jordy Ball, and anyone who does, I don't think has a good pulse on the situation. Jordy Ball gave everything she had for 2 years, won 2 national titles, was a driving force in those 2 titles. She has nothing left to prove. Like she said, what she wanted to do, she wanted to go home, wants to be with her family and grow the sport. To me, the best thing is she wants to grow the sport in her home state. And I know a couple of people from Nebraska who said, yeah, softball in Nebraska doesn't exist. Like it's not as thriving as it is in other places. And so that's really cool that Jordy recognizes that and wants to make it better. If you're an OU fan and you're worried that we're losing the best pitcher in the entire country, I can understand that as well. All I have to say to you is 2 words: Patty Gasso. As long as Patty Gasso is driving the bus, I'm good. She is fielding calls from All-American pitchers who want to transfer to Oklahoma this year as we speak. I can guarantee you. There's no reason to worry. Not while she's there. Matt, Pat, or Matt, Mark, do you guys have anything else you wanted to add on that?
Where's Pat?
Yeah.
Not really. The more that I think about it, the more I land exactly in the same place. Is, hey, good for Jordy. Glad she's not going to be in the Big 12 or the SEC, so we're not seeing her very often. But Patty Gasso is going to keep the train on the tracks, like she always has.
Yeah, there might not be another Jordy, but Patty's going to figure something out. She will.
Derek LeBlanc transferring. Ryan, your thoughts on Derek LeBlanc?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you guys for the listeners.
I guess we should phrase it correctly. He's in the transfer portal. He hasn't left yet, so he's in the portal. So there you
go. I have been off social media this week, something that I'm trying. So I've not been on Twitter, just scoping out everything that's happening here. From what I understand, like the reasoning for that was for him to be closer to home. He's from Florida. He did, I believe, just like scrub his entire Instagram and Twitter of OU things. Seems a little odd. I think there was probably something to do with the large amount of veteran defensive players that we're bringing in recently. And maybe he felt that like his playing time was challenged. He's a big guy, but he's a freshman. So like, there's a lot of things here. I don't have a ton of information about it. I know like not all of us do have a lot of information about it. So we're just kind of speculating at this point. But if this is his choice, this is his choice. And I think like my opinion on this is that Brent Venables is creating a culture similar to the one that we're seeing with Patty Gasso. I think he's after that same culture where you're here and you are the best of the best and you have to prove that. And if he felt like he couldn't prove that or didn't want to, or just wasn't getting like the fair shot of doing that, and he felt like he needed to make a different decision for himself, then more power to him. And if he wants to be closer to home, I totally understand that too. And I wish him the best.
Yeah. So I've thought a lot about this, and I'm trying to find a way to phrase this in the most respectful way possible without sounding like a complete asshole.
No.
So whatever he's got going on, whether it's family issues that he claims it is or whatever it is, if at the first sign of adversity, your immediate jerk reaction is to be like, I need to leave. I'm not going to stay here. That's not who you're recruiting. That's not who Brent Venables is trying to build this program around. So respectfully, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like I'm not mad at him. Like do what you got to do, because if that's the kind of mentality you're going to have, as soon as it gets tough, I got to bail. I mean, then leave, because that's not what we're doing here. We're not doing that. You're going to have to grind here. I think they're showing you, because to your point, yeah, it may be a depth thing. Maybe the adding the veteran players at his position. Maybe he got mad about that. If you're not willing to work to get a spot, then what are we doing? Like, you're not going to be handed anything at Oklahoma. I feel like if anything, Brent has made that clear from day one. No one has handed anything. So if that's the case, then yeah, man, you just weren't built for it. And I hope you're built for wherever else you go. I hope you are. So I don't know. I probably didn't do a good job at not sounding like an asshole, but that was my attempt.
No,
Matt?
I think you said some of the right things, Mason. The only thing that I would say to all of that is, like, we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure what the reason is. We're speculating at this point, and like, we can make guesses and we can make educated guesses, but like, no one probably knows except like the people who are extremely close to the situation. So like and maybe there's been more news come out on Twitter since I'm not on Twitter. So please let me know and please keep me updated.
Matt?
Ryan, one question for you just real fast. Have you been on social media this week?
No.
I just didn't know.
Did I not make that clear? Should I make it more clear?
No, if you could say it another time or two. Guys, Matt, go.
I was just going to say, I have Twitter pulled up since I am still an active user. Derek LeBlanc did tweet, and I'm not going to read his whole thing, but he just said, I had every intention of being a Sooner for life when I committed, but due to hardships back home, I have decided to be closer to home. I want to thank Coach Venables and Coach Bass for it all. So that's what he had told us. I know Coach Miguel Chavis retweeted and said something about it as well, not to jump to conclusions or make assumptions. If that's really what it is, obviously wish him the best for whatever's going on. If he wants to be closer to home, I think sort of similar to what Jordy Ball is doing. Maybe there's some other things, obviously, we don't know. It's very personal, but obviously wish him the best and whatever else is going on with him.
Sure. Mark?
Yeah, I sort of basically what you're saying. I think that they were probably pretty clear that, hey, you're going to come in and you have to work on your body. And I imagine what he took that to mean, and again, I'm imagining this, is I need to come in and work out with Schmitty for a year, and then I'm going to get my shot. And for the OU coaching staff, getting your shot is, hey, look like a king during the spring, or we know we need to bring more bodies in here for this year. I think Derek is probably a little bit impatient with his ability to get on the field, and he's going to look for someone that'll appreciate what he's bringing to the field right then versus, hey, what you might be next year or the next year.
Yeah.
And that's just the case for some of these guys. That's what it's going to be. They're going to have to get coached up and they're going to have to fix their bodies before they're ready for the big time. Maybe Derek lands somewhere where he's able to do that immediately, but it clearly wasn't going to be Oklahoma. So all the best to him, but agreed. I think that we're going to be okay.
Let us know down below in the comments what you think of this transfer news in softball and both football. We read every single one of your comments, folks. I feel like everybody's been kind of on it. We've been on the reply train and the like train on our YouTube channel from the main account and even our personal accounts. We're out there on YouTube and stuff. Also, I have news. I had to make my Twitter account private for my new job. But if you follow me, I'm team allow you to follow. Like, I'm not, as long as you're not like
incredible. What
a student,
flex.
a student
Right.
of mine, then you won't. Then you'll be allowed to follow.
Student of
So,
yours.
That's
Oh,
right.
man.
Yeah. Okay.
Giving
You
a
dropped
little.
the information, not us.
Can you can you sprinkle it? Just
Not
a little
yet.
sprinkle.
Not yet. Okay. So some football commitment news that we're going to get to. Commitments from defensive tackle Ace Hodges, class of 2024, 6'2", 265, Edmond, Oklahoma, coming in as a
Hell yeah.
preferred walk-on. That away, Ryan. Ranked as the top center in Oklahoma.
You did it.
That's pretty good. I enjoyed that. They at BV's camp, they said they had him play both sides of the ball. Came to the conclusion that he'd be fit as a defensive tackle rather than a center. He was being recruited by Air Force. Also visited Drake, East Carolina, North Texas, Oklahoma State, and Arkansas. So that's a commitment from him in the 2024 class. I mean, cool. Yeah,
We'll take it.
cool. I don't.
The class of 2024 has like 5 or 6 dudes committed,
Yeah.
and this guy at this point in the game is like, yeah, I'll take a preferred walk on.
Yeah.
That's
It's like,
fine.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Bro. That's it's I'm very excited that he's coming in. He's coming from Edmond. It's going to be great to have someone like that clearly just loves Oklahoma enough that he's gonna pay to play football there. But guys like this, sometimes I do wish they would go get the free education. Just truthfully, that's where I land, at least at this point in the game, right? Maybe he gets to the end of the process and this is still what he wants, but come on, man, go get your education paid for.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah,
that's a great point. I mean, we've seen a couple of these late guys come in. We love for walk-ons if they're that passionate to come to OU and play for us. Another body, another depth for practice and all that. So you love to see it.
Ryan, anything to add?
No, I mean, just like awesome. He's coming in from Edmond, feel strong connection there, even though
Love that for you.
didn't go to the school I went to.
Freeman.
There's
Defensive
others that
tackle.
come from Edmond. Like, I'm very aware of that. There's one offensive tackle is from Deer Creek. So like, it's just more, I love it. 2024 coming in and just saying, yeah, I'm going to walk on here and I'm going to make a decision now. Like Mark was saying, like before most of the classes even like started to commit, and he's just like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. He like knows what he can provide. And he's like, this is what I'm going to do. So I love it.
Love it. Some crystal ball news. Jashawn Ross, he's a 2024 4-star defensive end, 6'4", 220, Liberty North High School out of Kansas City. He was crystal ball to Oklahoma. And then Zion Reagans, I don't know.
Reagans?
Sure.
I don't know.
One of those.
I don't know.
Ragins, if you want to look it up for yourself. Class of 2024, 4-star wide receiver, 5'8", 155. Jones County High School, stand-up middle, Georgia, 478. Go Greyhounds. He's
real fast, 5'8", 155. What are we?
I know.
What are we doing? What are we doing 5'8"?
It's fun. Emmett Jones is like a caricature of himself already. And I think he's going to be good for us, but this is hysterical. They're either 5'8" or they're 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah. It's
awesome.
Well, maybe except no, not the next guy's not a wide receiver. So.
My hope is that he's just like a track star. And I haven't looked anything up. I have contacts in Middle Georgia. I can ask them if this guy's what this guy's deal is. Another crystal ball, Andy Bass, class of 2024 athlete, 5'10", 197, Heritage Hall High School out of Oklahoma City. Anything stick out to you from those three that I read off, gentlemen?
And we've already talked about the 5'8" thing, but I will say Georgia, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Getting somebody from Georgia going in the SEC territory and plucking people out, even if they're 5'8", 155. I mean, like, hey, like that's great. He's a 4-star. So he's obviously like talented.
Recruiting.
I think that's exciting.
So if they looked at his tape, the football in that region, that high school football is very, very elite. So if his film stood out amongst the schedule that I know that high school plays, he's probably good. He's probably pretty good. So I guess we'll see. Matt Gann, anything to add, brother?
I believe I saw Andy Bass was at BV's camp, and they actually had him playing running back. Obviously, he's listed as athlete, but I think I did see him
Plays
doing
quarterback in high school.
Yeah, playing or doing running back drills and all that at the camp. So be interesting to see where he actually ends up playing, sort of similar to the Ace Hodges guy. Probably had multiple people at the camp playing multiple positions to figure out what would be the best fit for him if they were to come here.
Andy Bass looks like a crazy athlete. Like, I implore you to just Google pictures of him because he looks wild, but I think there's going to be size limitations that probably keep him coming to Oklahoma as an athlete of some sort. Sorry. And Jashawn Ross, we're not talking enough about him, 4-star defensive end, 6'4", 220 out of Kansas City. That's a pipeline for Brent Venables, and one that we seem to be tapping into pretty well. I cannot wait for this kid to be on the Oklahoma sideline when we are visiting Missouri in 24. Damn, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
that doesn't work. Almost. Anyway, I've seen him too, and I haven't watched any tape or anything, but he's big and built like you like, with room to grow further. So exactly what you want out of a guy that's slated to come in a year.
To Matt's point, according to 247, Andy Bass is being primarily recruited by DeMarco Murray. So that's another running back connection that could be there. Ryan?
No, I just looked up Andy Bass, and you were not kidding.
Yeah, Mark. He's a unit.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah,
he looks like he's like 30. And
Soul
it's like
huge.
Soul time.
It's like Drake Stoops you can put in the backfield, man.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a unit. Let us know down below in the comments any of those crystal balls you're most excited for this 2024 class. So OU president Joe Harroz, he had a interesting Harroz. I mean, dude,
that was a classic Matt Gam.
Dude, when you don't go to that school anymore, it's so hard for me to like care who the president is. Like, I know who Joe C is. I know who the coaches are. The president doesn't affect me.
I just call him Joe H. I just call him like the Joe brothers, like
Joey
close
Rice
to the Jonas brothers, but not the Jonas brothers, the Joe brothers. Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, Joe Harroz. Did I say it right again?
Yeah, that was right.
That was right. I think that was right.
He was talking to the Board of Regents about updating tailgating policies at OU football games starting this year. He said, quote, "It's going to get bigger and more fun. This is in preparation of the SEC." Lindsay Street's open. Like, that's what that means to me.
Well, hold on. Question for you. I want to turn this into a little segment, right?
Okay.
If you could have one thing.
Oh,
and it has to be realistic, right? You can't shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
But if you have one thing, if you can make one change and it bypasses all the bullshit bureaucracy, what would it be? Shut up, Siri. Mason, what would yours be?
I mean, it's opening Lindsay Street 100%.
Opening Lindsay
Street. It's to me, it's got to be that. Like, the fact that you can like just look at that street and it's empty on game days and
really
it's
sad.
Right next to the stadium is laughable. It like if you're an SEC school coming into there and you're like, this ain't, to Patrick's point, this ain't rowdy. I ain't scared of nothing. So yeah, that'd be mine.
Man, the thing that I'm thinking now is like behind over where like Headington is too, you can probably do stuff with that space that just has never been done. Because those roads are always open too. Ryan, what's yours?
I was trying to think of another one other than Lindsay Street for, content, but I think I think Lindsay Street's the one. Like, and yeah. I think if I had to throw in another one, they recently did, I think this past year, they did like private tailgating things. I think those are so stupid. Like, I would want to take those down. Just like,
that's a good point.
Just like free reign everywhere.
Yeah.
And
no, that's what it should
just
be.
Like, let's get a little more wild and be okay with it because we're going into the SEC.
If you want to have some
open up Lindsay, you have to do it to public. Like, you cannot do this private stuff anymore.
No, it's got to be show up at the ass crack of dawn on like Wednesday and like hold a spot. That's what I think it's got to be. Matt,
OG times. You see him in freaking pledge attire.
Amazing.
Crack of dawn.
It'd be perfect.
Ready to go.
It'd be so good. Matt?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Ryan's point, the private tailgating. I'm not sure why they implemented. When I've gone over there, I guess it's cool that you can get catering and all that, but it is all about money at the end of the day, getting a spot, getting catering, all that. Doesn't seem very rowdy to me, so that's what I would get rid of. Make it more accessible to the public and probably have more people show up.
And if you want to
but Ryan already said that. We need a new one, Matt. Come on.
Content, baby. Come on.
Dude, you know what I'd do?
Open up the Bazell library and just go wild.
That'd be wild. They already do it. But like I feel like Boyd needs to like explode. Like that whole lawn on Boyd right there. That's like just as you get onto campus. That's a massive lawn that they don't allow anybody on because it's the grass and it's pretty. Nah, dude, that needs to be packed to the gills. That needs to be
I want to see
rowdy.
that grass dead.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, forget that, man. Like, you think they care about the grass in the Grove? Hell no. The whole thing's grass. There's a giant sidewalk going through the middle of a pasture. Like, no. The grass thing is ridiculous if that's what it is. Like, that needs to be rowdy right there.
Are they doing anything with the old like practice OU and track fields? I know they're like moving that area over by the duck ponds. I wonder if they would have that space. I know
they're building football facilities there, aren't they? So I don't think they can do anything there.
Yeah,
I think that's right. I think that's where they're doing that.
Yeah, so they won't be able to do anything there just because of that. But
anyway, so I was trying to have something to differentiate from you guys' ideas, and mine was also build up Boyd, but kind of as part of just revamping Campus Corner. There's like 2 or 3 streets and alleys and blocks in Campus Corner that contribute nothing to the whole Campus Corner game day experience, and we should be maximizing that and minimizing boutiques. That can be somewhere else off campus.
Like we have to like know, and I'm sure they know this, and I know there was an article that came out about like Norman, like public officials going to like other SEC towns, but like these teams travel significantly more than the teams in the Big 12. And like they're going to be coming for days. They're going to be looking for hotel rooms. They're going to be looking for food. They're going to be looking for alcohol. And like, we need to pump up those spaces in Norman, especially around campus. And like that needs to happen in the next 2 years.
To your point and Mark's point, I genuinely don't think there's enough bars on Campus Corner. Like,
I don't think so.
I don't think there is.
Not for these kind of people.
As like douchey frat lord college guys that sounds. There's genuinely just not enough bars on Campus Corner. There's not
a frat.
I was Delta South Delta. Shout out. But yeah, I think
you're right. There's not.
Yeah, even when we were in college, that's
on
not
a game day. Every bar is hard to get into.
That's not a like a new age thing. It was a problem when we were in college. I'm sure it was a problem, 10, 15 years ago too. There's just never been a lot of bars there for whatever reason. I don't really know why. Matt?
Did they say anything in the border regions about specific things they were looking to do, or is it just general talk at this point?
Probably just general
so
talk. Yeah.
It's just general talk. And it was more like, I think it was more, how do you get people to come in and how do you get people to like stay for a long time and spend a lot of money? Like
bring back chimneys, baby. Bring back chimneys.
Got to. I don't know what they have there anymore. What is that place?
Yeah, well, so if you guys haven't heard, instead of chimneys, they brought in a nightclub on Norman or on Campus Corner called the Heist. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
That's right.
For
because
Campus
the wing
Corner.
place failed, right? So it's a nightclub there now.
So it's actually to the
what I have in mind.
It's to the left of Hertz. So it's actually like that old cell phone repair store. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, I think they bought that like block there. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check.
The one that was like a secondhand clothing spot for a while too.
Could have been.
Is that where Sugars was?
A little bit farther
Close.
down. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, they definitely need more facilities. Yeah, definitely need more facilities and for places to people to go because it's obviously 1,000 degrees in the summer too.
And they absolutely need more hotels and places to stay.
You're right about that. No, you're right about that.
Build the nightclub, and it'll be a magnet for all the people that want to go to a nightclub.
Yeah,
and
I don't want to go to a nightclub, so
we'll go to Logies.
Yeah, then we can go to Logies. Then we can go to Logies, and it's not as crowded. People don't look at us like, what are these old guys doing here?
I can't wait until we're in Logies.
Program guys in the crowd.
I can't wait till we're in Logies in 2024 and it's Bama weekend and there are more Bama fans in there than OU fans.
And you can't tell because everyone's wearing crimson.
You can't tell.
That's the thing.
There's not enough places to go.
I don't think people realize this, but like the people who really care about Alabama football are wealthy people. Like we're not going to be able to price them out of a ticket. Like
no, and they're going to show up. They're going to show up on like Thursday.
Yeah, they
like,
will
ready
pay.
to go.
They will pay anything to get there. Like, you're right, Ryan. There's going to be a lot of Alabama fans there. Like a ton.
I think there's going to be a lot of like everybody there, right?
Mhm.
If we're talking about like South Carolina and Tennessee, I think they're going to roll
Tennessee
out.
rolled out when they weren't in a conference. They're going to roll out this
Yeah.
time too.
Yeah,
For sure. Patrick's going to lead the charge.
he really is.
What can OU do to make game days rowdy, as Patrick Hertzberger would say? Let us know down below in the comments. We read every single one of your comments. Love to hear every single one of them. All right, a little NBA Finals recap, just real quick before we move on to Ryan's must watch. I just wanted to recap the Nuggets win 3-1. It's what we thought was going to happen. I feel like nobody really had the heat on this podcast. I feel like everybody was kind of Nuggets heavy. Nikola Jokic, like, wanting to go home and be with his horses is the best thing that's come out of the finals, in my opinion. Just, they told him the way his heart sunk and he panicked when they told him that the parade was on Thursday, and he said, I have to go home immediately after the game. That's like perfect to me. That's amazing.
He's awesome. What a great dude. What a weird dude, but what a great dude.
Yeah.
It's like if Stanley Hudson was legendary at his job.
Yeah.
Because then he gets to like Florida and it's like, oh, ladies, hello. What are you up to this day? And like, that's Jokic with his horses.
It's
But he's in
amazing.
the office and he's incredible. He's the best at what he does and he dreads it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's a
Dreads it.
superstar.
Dude, it's hilarious. Matt, anything on the finals?
No, Nuggets were a better team. Heat was the team of destiny, but weren't good enough. Nuggets were too good this year. First NBA championship they've ever had. First finals appearance, I believe, as well for the Nuggets. So good for them.
Dude, the Stan Kroenke thing is wild. Stanley Cup, Super Bowl with the Rams, NBA Finals with the Nuggets. They won their National League lacrosse, his franchise there, and his Premier League soccer team second in the Premier League this year. Like, dude's kind of got it figured out. He's kind of knows what he's doing there. So, yeah, shout out to the Nuggets for winning that. Okay, must watch time. Ryan is going to give us something to watch. And Ryan, right after you're done, I have a Mason's must watch, and I'm one episode in. It's fire, and I'm just going to say it.
I wonder if we're going to have the same must watch.
I don't know, but you go.
Okay,
I like
probably
my shows
not.
MMW.
We're probably not.
No.
Because I'm picking another Apple TV show, and I feel like no one has Apple TV.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, is yours Apple TV?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I hope it's the same one. Please be the same one. Okay. I am going with Silo. Yes.
Let's go.
Baby.
Yes, it's fire. It's so good. All right.
Okay, so Silo is on Apple TV Plus. It is a sci-fi show, really about a dystopian future where tens of thousands of people live in a large silo under the ground that is like 140 stories tall. So they basically all live in this like contained silo.
They're
and
mole
you
people.
can't- Yeah, they're mole
Civilized
people.
mole people.
And you are required to follow certain rules that have been in place for as long as the silo has been in place, for over like hundreds of years, and they're meant to quote unquote protect you. And this show is really all about kind of like, is everything that is going on true? Is everything that they're telling us right? Can we really not go outside, or are they just keeping us in here? Like all of that kind of conspiracy theory, political
So it's the village.
kind of
A little bit.
not really like
Oh,
it's,
no,
but
I think
there's
so.
it is, but there's not like quote unquote like monsters.
Yeah, it's just
outside.
like it's
that
like
was my last show that I gave on this.
it's like the Earth.
the
It's
same
like the
thing.
Earth like died.
Yeah,
and-
it's like there was like they haven't said, I'm not far enough.
It's
into
more
it to know.
apocalyptic.
Yes,
It's apocalyptic
Yes.
outside, and you have to stay inside to protect yourself and to protect the other people in the silo. It has got who's it got in it? Rebecca Ferguson, who is incredible. If you've ever seen Dune, Mission Impossible, she was in
Rashida Jones.
that musical that people really like. What is it called? The one with Hugh Jackman.
Les Miserables.
Les Mis?
No, the other one.
Greatest
The,
Showman.
the circus
Greatest
one.
Showman,
Greatest
there you
Showman,
go.
that one.
Thank you.
Who is
Okay.
she in Greatest Showman?
She's the singer, the opera singer.
Lauren Allen.
Yeah, her.
Or she
Her.
sings
Never
her
enough?
songs.
Yes, but that's not her voice.
Right,
Like,
right.
It's the actress
That
though.
girl,
Yeah. I'm glad we've gotten to this stage. There is a voice
not her
behind the
voice.
actress in that show, in that movie, that is different. So that's not her actual singing voice.
Continue. Just continue.
Yeah, Rashida Jones is in it. Tim Robbins. Who else? Who else do we have here?
Who's
David
the,
Oelio.
Who's the coach?
Common's in it.
Who's the coach on Remember the Titans? The white coach.
Coach Yost.
Coach Yost. He's in it.
Yeah. Ian Glenn is in it. Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sir Jorah.
Yeah, Jorah's in it. Yeah, you got some good people in it, and it just, as of I think this morning, got renewed for season 2. Overall, it's really good. I mean, like, Mason, you can touch on this too a little bit after, but I would just say, like, it's gripping. It pulls you in early, and it's like, what is going on here? This is weird. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I love that the main character of the show, literally the main character of the show, is not introduced until the final seconds of like the pilot episode. And that's really fun to me. I like when they do that kind of like bait and switch. And like the acting's great, writing's really good. And it looks good. It looks great. You can tell Apple put a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
Like they do in most of their shows. So overall, really recommend it. I think it's hard to do sci-fi right, and this show feels like they're doing sci-fi right. So Mason, anything you want to touch on?
I agree with all your points. It's hard for me to find a show that I'm like all in from minute like 5. And it really, and it's not like action that grabs you. It's just the circumstances, and you're just like, wait, what's going on here? And you just want to figure out what's happening. And it's just great. It's a really good show. I'm an episode and a half in, and I told my wife that we can watch it together, and she just fell asleep, and I want to watch like 3 more episodes tonight, and I can't until she wakes up. So I'm frustrated about that. But yeah, it looks great, and I'm beyond excited.
Mm-hmm. So the full season is not completely out yet. I think that episode 7 just came out, and I don't know if there's going to be 8 or 10 episodes for the season. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. There's episode 8's coming out next week, it said.
Yeah. So there'll be, and it's based on a book series. So like they're pulling from source material. I think they're changing quite a bit, but they are pulling from source material for it. So yeah, overall, watch Silo, Apple TV Plus, really good.
Great show.
Question. There's an episode of South Park where the B plot is that Cartman convinces Butters that everyone outside is dying and he needs to stay in this small little shelter, and then later in this refrigerator in a waste, like a dump. And he does this for like 4 days so that he can go to Kyle's birthday party at Casa Bonita. How much like that episode do you think Silo is going to end up to be? Like, is this real?
Like 100%. No.
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't like. I don't know. There's like, you gotta watch it to be like, is what's going outside, like, is it actually an apocalypse out there? Like, you're like, I don't know.
They're in a part of the show now where there's more questions than answers, and it's just wild. Like you thought you knew, oh, this is all a sham, and then you're like, wait, is it a sham?
Is it?
Yeah, it's just weird.
And they do that really well. It's like one of those shows, like I always put up like any kind of sci-fi show against Lost if they are able to capture me like Lost does, or Lost did back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I consider that pretty successful. Just like the way it's written, the way they show suspense, the way they drop reveals but don't reveal too much.
Yeah.
All of that right now. I'm 4 episodes in, really solid stuff. And excited that it just got renewed for season 2, meaning like this isn't the end of like whatever story they're trying to tell.
Love it. All right, PGP MVP of the week time. Let's wrap up the show with this. Matt Gann, we'll start with you. Who's your MVP of the week, brother?
I'm going to go to a sport we don't talk about a whole lot except for myself. That is the National Hockey League. Congrats to the Vegas Golden Knights for beating the Panthers last night, the second Florida team to lose in a professional title game. They win the series 4-1, 9-3 in the last game, bringing the first title to Vegas. Much well deserved. They were clearly the best team in the playoffs throughout. Fun fact, they did go through my Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars have now lost 3 out of the last 4 NHL title contenders. So
hang the banner.
If you want to win the NHL, go through Dallas. That's all you got to do. But congrats to the Golden Knights.
I think they're the fastest expansion team ever to win a major championship in their 3rd season. Because
I think they've been there for more than 3. I think it's within 5 years. I'm pretty sure.
Whichever.
I think they came in 2017. I'm pretty.
I know the Diamondbacks won the World Series in their 4th season, I believe. So yeah, I don't know. All right, that's your MVP. Go ahead, Ryan, with your MVP.
I have LVPs mostly. Yeah. Which I feel like is a theme. I think Mark's going to throw some LVPs in here too, but my LVPs are the Donald Trump aides who decided to hide classified files in a shower, as well as Donald Trump.
That's okay. Well, I mean, hey, it's not really political because you're not. I mean, you're just kind of saying.
I'm watching Mark's reaction here.
Yeah, Mark. We need to move on before Mark.
We've been doing good for so long.
I know. Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
That's all yours. Okay.
Mark, gonna go crazy.
Mark, who's your?
Yeah, I'm going to go with an LVP that is more on topic. Latrell McCutcheon.
Yeah.
Let's go in a time machine, baby. Class of 2021, top 100 corner. Latrell McCutcheon commits to Oklahoma. Everyone's excited. And because that coaching staff chose not to develop freshmen, but just to throw them out there quick and see if it works, he got some good playing time and didn't look that great with it. When Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch leave in November of 2021, he trashes the staff. His dad trashes the staff. I saw a screenshot of his dad on Twitter saying, F the OU defensive staff, which is tough because, like, that's tough, right? And then he leaves and he goes to USC. So essentially he was mad he didn't get the call until he got the call, right? Well, fast forward to the next fall, he's listed as the backup nickelback on the depth chart. I vividly remember us having that conversation because it's awesome. And fast forward another season later, he's back in the transfer portal. And I just want to say, yeah, he's my LVP now, but he's going to be my MVP as a starting corner for the Texas State Wildcats. He's gonna be a dog for him.
I had no idea he was back in the transfer portal. Oh my gosh. What a tough ride.
Yeah. So my LVP, Latrell McCutcheon. Mason, wrap this up.
Yeah, hate to see it. Okay, my MVP of the week is Fathers everywhere. Happy Father's Day for this weekend. Happy Father's Day to my dad.
Did you say LVP?
No, I said MVP. Did I?
Okay.
I hope I did it. I mean MVP. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to my dad. Gonna play golf with him on Sunday morning like I do every week. Aww. And gonna get up at the ass crack of dawn, go play golf 6:20 in the morning with my dad. And
hey, that's the way to do it. It's too damn hot for anything else.
The only piece of advice I have, a little on a serious note, call your dad, everybody. If you're listening to the show right now, just call your dad. Tell him Happy Father's Day. Yeah, that's all that matters.
And share the Program Guys podcast with them.
Exactly. Say, hey, these dope guys told me to call you. You should listen to that. That'd be sick. And that's going to do it for this week's episode. You can subscribe on our YouTube channel. Trying to hit 1,600 subscribers, folks. Helps us out more than you know. Costs you $0 to subscribe. Please do it. You can follow us on Twitter, Program Guys with a Z, our Instagram, Program Guys with a Z, our Facebook page, Program Guys Podcast. However you get your podcast, that's where you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of that good stuff. We will see y'all next week. Once again, thank you to the boys for hopping on an EPC the other day. Hope you got a chance
guys.
To check it out. And that's going to do it. Ryan, take us out.
Ooh, me? Yeah. Wow. Keep pushing, baby.